All right.
State your name, sir.
Gabriel Schwab.
All right. I'm set for a preliminary examination. Are we ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
People are ready, Your Honor.
All right. Let me call you first witness.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, first, I'm asking first, sequestration.
Easy. You just said.
Easy for me to say.
Witnesses are hereby ordered sequestered.
Your Honor, I would ask that the OIC, Mr. Trial be allowed to say. I do not intend to call him.
Notice how much weight the first statements to police carry. Investigators often compare every later testimony against those original interviews. If even one important detail changes, attorneys will use it to challenge credibility. Have you spotted any details that might become a major issue later in this hearing? Keep them in mind. We're about to see the defense start digging.
May remain in the
You
court.
do not intend to comment?
I don't think I'm going to.
There's somebody behind you.
Yes.
All right. May I have him sworn? Right.
Now the judge is asking questions directly, and that's often when the court is trying to clear up inconsistencies that neither attorney fully addressed. These answers can become incredibly important because they reveal how believable the witness appears under pressure. So far, do you think this testimony has become stronger, or are the contradictions starting to add up?
Say spell your first and last name for the record.
My name is Oman, O-M-A-R-M-O-H-A-M-M-A-D.
May inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Muhammad, I'm going to turn your attention to August 14th, 2025, at approximately 5 to 6 p.m. in the evening. Where were you at that time?
At Zippy's Car Wash on Carpenter Road.
And is that located at 5300 Carpenter Road? And to your knowledge, that's in the Pittsfield Township and within the County of Washtenaw in the state of Michigan?
Yes.
And what were you doing there?
I was actively on the car and cleaning it off.
And were you there by yourself?
No, I was accompanied by my sister, Haneen Muhammad.
Could you spell her name for the record, please?
H-A-N-E-M, Muhammad, M-O-H-A-M-M-A-D. And my friend, Talal Al-Maita.
Would you spell Talal's name, please?
I know the spelling of his first name, but not his last. His first name is spelled T-A-L-A-L.
Does A-L-M-A-I-T-A sound correct?
Yes.
And while you were there vacuuming your car, what, if anything, happened?
So as we were vacuuming our cars, Talal then went to the car wash and came back and parked his vehicle at the end of the vacuuming station, where the entrance is for the vacuuming station at the back of the car wash. And he was waiting for me to finish. As I finished, I was exiting the car wash.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just to clarify, you drove separate vehicles?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you were finishing vacuuming?
So as I was finishing vacuuming, I noticed that Talal finished his car wash, and so I was exiting the vacuuming station. And as I was exiting the vacuuming station, I noticed that he was still. And then I also noticed that Michelle was coming into the car wash.
All right, I'm going to stop you there. When you say you were exiting, were you walking or you were driving your vehicle?
I was driving my vehicle.
Okay. And you said Jabril Shawaka. Did you personally observe him?
Yes.
And did you know him before you saw him that day?
Yes.
How do you know him?
He is my brother-in-law's brother.
Your brother-in-law's brother. Could you explain to the court what you mean by that?
His brother, Steve Shawaka, is currently married but going through a divorce with my sister, Haneen Muhammad.
And Haneen Muhammad was with you?
Yes.
Okay. So you observed Mr. Shawaka come into the car wash. Could you describe your relation, or, excuse me, strike that, Judge, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
How many times have you met with or spoken to Jabril Shawaka?
Probably a handful of times, probably about 5, I'd say.
And how would you describe the state of your relationship at that time?
At that time, there's a lot of animosity and conflict, and it's an aggressive relationship with them.
And could you describe for the court what you mean by that?
So basically, every encounter that I've had with him in the previous has been very negative. There's been violent threats. There has been multiple encounters of shouting, cussing out my family, disrespect, neglect of family members.
And would this be, what are this animosity related to?
This animosity is related to my sister and Steve Shalaka, Muhammad and Steve Shalaka, having conflict in their marriage and going through with a divorce.
Okay. So with that in mind, when you observed Mr. Shawaka come into the car wash, what happened next?
After that, I noticed that he was glancing at me very inappropriately, and he gave me an inappropriate hand gesture.
What was that?
Middle finger, which I reciprocated. I apologize for the court. That was not the best behavior of mine, but I reciprocated that with the same hand gesture.
It's a free country. You have the right of expression.
Interesting.
After you exchanged gestures, what happened after that?
After that, he continued to drive forward. I noticed that Talal was still parked at the same spot where he parked the parking station is.
Mm-hmm.
And he drove forward, and there's like
I'm going to stop you. I apologize. When you say he drove forward,
so
you're referring to whom?
he drove past me.
Whom? Who drove?
Sorry, Jabril Shalaka.
Okay.
Drove past me. And he stopped at the island where the entrance and exit is for the vacuuming station. And he parked his car and got down.
And where was he then relative to you and to Mr. Almeida?
He was in between our cars.
Okay.
With his vehicle parked
Okay. And then what did he do?
to the left. Then he exited the vehicle. I also exited my vehicle. After that, Salal was probably outside of his vehicle, wiping it down or something. So I exited my vehicle. And noticed that Salal was not out of his vehicle yet. But Jabril Shalaka was out of his vehicle. And his door was open. And
Which door?
his driver's door.
Okay. And then what happened? What did he do next?
When I got out of the vehicle, I next noticed that he started reaching for a handgun that was on his driver's side door.
So when you say reaching, he was reaching towards the driver's side door.
Yes.
All right. And then when did you observe a handgun?
Yes.
All right. When you observed that, where was it?
It was in his right hand and it was pointing at me.
Describe for the court how he was holding it and how it was pointed at you, please.
When he grabbed it with his driver's side door, he reached down and grabbed it and he picked it up. He brought it up to his waistline and pointed it directly at me.
Was his arm fully extended or was it down at his side?
It was down at the side.
And his forearm was raised?
What do you mean by forearm?
This part.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. And at that time, did you testify that the firearm was pointed at you?
Yes.
All right. What did you do next?
I then next raised my hands.
Why did you raise your hands?
To be honest, I was in fear that
Fear.
I was going to get shot. And I was also making myself noticeably that I was defenseless and had no weapons on my person.
Okay. And then after you did that, what happened next?
After that, we were exchanging words and I was basically saying some inappropriate terms, kind of to question his courage, to kind of motivate him to lower his weapon. so I had to be out of the state of danger. And then I turned around and noticed that a black truck with three other guys, a black PMC, approached and got down from their vehicle.
At the time that you turned away, was he still holding the firearm?
Yes.
Excuse me, Your Honor. So as you turned and walked away and the other car came in, what happened after that?
After that, they, three gentlemen in that black truck got down from their vehicle and started to approach me.
What do you mean they got down? They got out of the vehicle?
Yes, so my truck was parked at the exit of the vacuuming station, and they came and parked beside me, the black truck, and three guys, I don't know who they were, got down from the vehicle, and they got basically in between me and getting back into my car.
And then what happened?
After that, they started talking to Jabril, and they started talking to me and kind of getting in between me. I was just trying to get my sister back in the car. I was yelling. I was police, let's get out of here.
Were they all speaking English?
Yes.
Okay. And what were they saying back and forth?
They were, the only thing I remember was them saying that they know Jabril and that he's very problematic. That was one of the statements I remember. Other than that, I don't remember much.
All right. So after they said that, what happened next?
After that, Jabril started to approach us where they blocked me off. And then he went and he standing behind the three gentlemen that approached me. And
Who was standing behind them?
Jabril Shawaka was standing behind the three gentlemen that approached me from the black truck.
Okay.
After they approached me and they were all huddling around me. And then he got behind one of them and reached over, Jabril Shawaka reached over one of the guys and punched me in the face.
And then what happened?
And then I punched him back.
And what happened from there?
After I punched him back, I punched him a couple times. And then I got back and I started looking for my sister, telling her, let's get back in the truck, let's leave. These guys were very violent, they attacked me. I also noticed that employees from the car wash started to approach to see what was happening, the situation. And I was just very frantic and trying to leave.
And then what did you do after that?
I gathered my sister, my friend, Tal, myself, and Muhammad, and we got back in our vehicles and we started to leave. I got back in my truck and put my car in drive and started to leave the car wash. I went to the front of the car wash and Tal pulled beside me in the front of the car wash, and he was trying to ask me where the car wash was because he was on the phone with the police. And I responded to Carpenter Road, but he didn't hear me.
And then what happened?
After that, he parked beside me in the front of the car wash, and he got down from his vehicle, and I got down from mine. And when I got down from my vehicle, I noticed that a deep Shawaka came into the car wash and blocked our trucks.
Who is Adib Shawaka?
Adib Shawaka is Jabril Shawaka and Adib Shawaka's brother.
Is this the person that is married to your sister?
No, Adib Shawaka is the brother. Adib Shawaka is the one that's married to my sister.
So this is a different brother.
This is a different brother.
And how he arrived in a car?
He arrived in a black truck.
And where did he park that car?
What?
I'm sorry?
He arrived in a,
Black Rant truck.
And then what did that truck do?
It came and it blocked up our trucks from exiting.
And then what happened after that?
After that, I seen that my friend Michael was getting down from his truck. So I told him to get back into his truck because I realized that now there's danger. There's two guys. Possibly both have weapons, you know. And
What happened?
Speculation.
oh, but that goes to his state of mind, I'm not taking it as a fact. So overrule the objection. I'll let the answer stand. Go
Thank
ahead.
you, Your Honor. So what happened next?
After that, I was telling Paul to get back into his truck. And as I was getting back into my truck, Jabril Shalaka came out of nowhere in my sight and opened, pried my door open as I was shutting it, grabbed me by the legs very viciously and told me, "I got you now," and then proceeded to punch me in my face.
And then what happened after that?
After he punched me in my face, my recollection is that I rendered unconscious for a moment, because the next moment I woke up, I noticed that Jabril and Adib Shawaka were on top of Talal Maita, hitting him, kicking him, punching him in the flower bed across the parking lot to the car wash.
So you testified just now that you think you lost consciousness briefly.
Yes,
When you regained consciousness, where were you physically?
in the truck.
You were in the truck.
Yes.
And then after you observed Mr. Almeida engaged in a fight with some other gentlemen, what did you do?
After I seen that they were kicking him and punching him and being very violent, and I got down from my truck and I started to approach him to try to go help him.
Mhm.
And then I noticed that they just left him alone, and then Jabril tried to charge at me again. And then I took a step back.
When you say Jabril tried to charge at you, where was he standing?
So that was in the flower bed, which is where the mulch.
I understand.
So basically, they were hitting Talal, and then as I got down from my truck and started to approach, they both got off of him, and then he kind of like jolted himself forward at me.
And then what did he do?
I then took a step back. They both ran off with their vehicles. And then from which there, Jabril got into his vehicle. Jabril, when he was leaving, tried to hit me exiting the car wash.
Can you explain to the court how he drove that made you think he was trying to hit you?
When he exited the car wash, he turned the car facing towards my direction. And I kind of took a step back out of the way, and then he corrected the steering wheel to exiting the car wash.
And in the course of him doing that, did you think he was going to hit you with the car?
Yes.
After that, what happened next?
After that, they left the car wash, and I frantically tried to take out my phone to take a picture of the license plates because they were fleeing the scene. So I wanted to gather some information.
Okay, and then what did you do?
I went over to Talal and helped pick him up off the floor, started brushing out the wood chips off his back. And then after that, I believe the house.
The police arrived after that, you said?
That is yes.
Yes.
And then after the police arrived, you spoke to the police and explained what had happened.
Yes.
Your Honor, may I have just a moment, please? Thank you, Your Honor. I have no further questions for Mr. Mohammed.
Cross-examination.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So, Mr. Muhammad, you stated that when you got to the car wash, you and your sister Haneen were in one vehicle.
Yes.
Talal was in another vehicle. When the police arrived, Haneen was no longer at the scene, and she had left in a green Cherokee, correct?
No.
She was still at the scene?
Yes.
So you are aware that all officers had body worn cameras on and activated during this whole interaction, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Haneen was never interviewed at the car wash.
Objection, speculation. How's he supposed to know that?
Well, then he can say he doesn't have. Objections over. Go ahead.
Do you own a green Cherokee?
No.
What vehicle were you in when you and Haneen arrived?
I was in bullet silver Dodge Ram 1500, years 2024.
And did Haneen call the police?
Talal might have told the police to my recollection.
And when you left the car wash, did you leave with Haneen?
Yes.
What was Haneen wearing that day?
A black scarf. That's my recollection. I do not remember. I'm not good at remembering what clothes he wore.
So do you recall speaking to multiple officers while you and Talal were standing next to each other?
Yes.
Where was Haneen standing?
She was next to my truck. I believe so.
So you've stated your testimony was that you and Jabril had a contentious relationship, correct?
Define contentious.
Confrontational. You had a handful of interactions that were negative.
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, both families have had negative interactions with one another.
Yeah.
There's 3 instances where police have been involved, where both families were having negative interactions, correct? At least 3.
To my recollection, do you want me to explain or?
No, yes, no question.
Yes.
Okay. And those interactions have taken place prior to this incident at the car wash. And during those confrontations where several police were involved, it was because of threats being made by you and your family.
By Jabril Shalaka.
No, my question was by you and your family.
No.
No, never?
I'm sorry?
You guys never made threats against them?
No.
Okay. And you've made threats against Jabril over the phone and in person?
No.
So you don't recall ever saying to Omar prior to this incident even?
I'm sorry, saying to Omar?
Correct. No, to Jabril. You saying to Jabril, inviting him to meet you at a location.
Yes.
Okay. And adding on, I'll take you and everybody out.
No.
And you're going, I'll kill you. You don't recall ever saying I'll kill you to him? And you realize that you were sworn in at the beginning of this, right?
Yeah.
And so all your testimony needs to be truthful.
Yeah.
If it's found not truthful, that's perjury. And that and you
You
realize
don't have to give him a lesson on counsel. I think that's inappropriate.
encouraging, incentivizing him to make sure he's telling the truth.
Well, you could ask him that.
Okay.
I suppose he knows what an oath is if he took it. But I don't need, because your statement of law regarding what is actually incorrect. But go ahead.
And you state, so if we play a recording of you making those statements, it wouldn't be accurate, is what you're contending.
So,
Okay. So when Haneen spoke to the police, she stated you gave Jabril a middle finger. Was that the truth?
yes, I reciprocated.
First, her statement was that Jabril came in and you gave the middle finger. So you're saying that's not true.
I reciprocated the middle finger to Jabril, showing he has
Okay, so her assessment was false.
Judge, whose assessment are we talking about?
Haneen, the,
Hani hasn't testified. So he's testified that that Jabril gave the middle finger first.
I believe he opened the door to the question when he brought it up during your questioning of him.
He said what had happened, Your Honor. This is improper impeachment. He's trying to impeach him with a statement that somebody else allegedly made that hasn't been brought into court.
Sustained.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So you had an opportunity to leave the car wash when you saw Jabril coming, but you did not leave.
No,
You did not have an opportunity to leave.
no,
You were in the car, in your vehicle.
yes.
And what kept you there?
Making sure, reassuring that my friend's safety of him leaving the car wash and acknowledging that Jabril Shawaka was present at the car wash as well.
With the confrontation, the issue between you and Jabril was only between you two. There was no history of Talal and
That's no,
there were no issues between Talal and Jabril.
no.
And at the car wash, you gave very detailed statements to the police officers. Do you recall that?
I believe so.
And at no time had you ever mentioned an attempt to hit you with a car by Jabril until today.
Well,
Was that a question?
Correct. He said, okay, before I said correct. So it was answered. For the first time also today, you mentioned 3 guys in a, did you say GMC or AMC?
it was a GMC truck.
And you did not know who they were.
No.
And were they there when the police came?
Yeah,
And you are aware that the police got names of witnesses, correct? But there's no mention of 3 guys in a GMC. So you did not point them out to the police?
I pointed out that there was 3 guys in the GMC.
And you pointed to them and said it was them?
I don't recollect. I believe they might have left the car wash when the police arrived.
Well, hold it. You just said they were there.
They were there, but when the police arrived, they might have been there. I was very.
No. The question was, were they there at the time the police arrived? You said yes.
I believe they were. They were parked on the side. When I noticed afterwards, when the police arrived, they were parked on the outside of the car wash. When you enter the car wash from Carpenter Road, they were parked on the side.
Whatever they say, I'll send to you.
Near the other businesses.
And you had not seen them before that day and, excuse me. That was one of the vehicles that was in the driveway when Adib, Shawaka, Talal, Amita's vehicle and your vehicle were all in the driveway.
I'm sorry, can you say that?
That GMC was in the driveway along with your vehicle, as well as Talal Amata's vehicle and Adib Shawaka's vehicle. All 4 were in the driveway.
All were in the back of the Zaki's car wash. In the parking.
But when you said you weren't able to leave because you were blocked in, wasn't that one of the vehicles that was blocking?
I was blocked in when we were exiting from the front of Zippy's car wash. He showed up and blocked our truck off from the front.
Were you able to give a description of these three gentlemen that we're just now hearing about for the first time?
Their ethnicity.
No, I'm saying, were you able to give one to the police, a description of them? Because there's no description in the police report.
If I did, I might have.
Did you tell the police about these three people?
I did, yes.
Okay. Did you tell them when the police arrived that they were there?
Yes.
When you told the police they were there, what did the police say to you about that?
They told me if I
That what?
I'm trying to recollect what was on that day. When the police arrived, I believe they asked me if I knew them. I told them no.
Knew them being who?
Well, the three gentlemen in the GMC, the black GMC truck. They got one asked me if I knew them. I told them no, but they were there. They got down from their vehicle. I let them that when they got down from the vehicle, I was very scared. I thought that all of them were approaching to attack me. And that's about all I ever left telling the cops about them. But I definitely mentioned that there was three guys in the black truck there that day.
Go ahead, Mr.
Being that you and Jabril have had a contentious history, there's been a lot of back and forth, you admitted to. You recall threatening him as well, correct?
No.
You never threatened him? Okay. And 12 days before you were arrested for CCW, correct?
Objection. Relevance.
Relevance.
Mr. Shawaka is charged with felonious assault as one of the three counts. One count is felonious assault, 2 assault and batteries. Knowing the history between Omar Muhammad and the family with them, if there was,
I'm going to sustain the objection because I'm not going to have this talking answer to it.
If there's it's relevant.
Ask the next question.
If there was a weapon shown, would it not have been in fear based on the threats you made to him prior?
No.
And knowing that you carried concealed?
Objection, Your Honor. She's asking you to
Sustained.
While you said you were fighting Jabril, you said Jabril was fighting Talal. How did this happen? He can't fight two people in separate places at the same time.
Objection. She's misstating what he testified to.
He said Talal was in a flower bed. He said that the three men, Jabril was standing behind the three men by the vacuums.
That's not what he testified to.
What's the question?
That Jabril could not be fighting two people at the same time. So I'm trying to get how did this happen? How could he fight two people?
I'll sustain the objection.
How many times did you have physical contact with Jabril at the car wash? Meaning?
I think as in him hitting me.
Physical contact.
Physical contact as in him attacking me.
Hitting, whether you hitting him 2 times?
He hit me.
How many times did you hit him?
Did I reciprocate?
No.
How many times did you hit him?
I hit him twice in the face.
At one point, it was said that you were kicking. While you were in the car, you were kicking at Mr. Shawaka. Jabril. I'm sorry, I'll use first name since there's two Sawakas, if that's okay. Was that not a true statement?
Judge, he didn't testify to that, Your Honor.
He did say-
I'll allow really? That's twice. Don't cock your head toward me, counsel.
I'm listening to you.
We're going to stand in recess. You may step.
All rise.
For recalls case, Beal Properties versus Jason Mitchell.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Gabriel Lacey for Bill Properties.
Bill Lloyd, Your Honor, appearing on behalf of Mr. Mitchell, who's in court with me today.
Your name, sir?
Ms. Jason Mitchell?
All right. I have before me a consent judgment that indicates that there's a money judgment. Well, two things. One is that the defendant will vacate the premises 12 a.m. on the 29th of October 2025. There is a money judgment, total amount including cost of $20,000, and indicates defendant shall leave keys on the bar at midnight, 12 a.m. on October 29, 2005. Oh, this terminates the lease and settles all claims. That's the court's full understanding of the agreement between the parties. Is that correct, counsel?
That is correct, Your Honor.
That is correct, and
Correct.
you understand?
Yes.
Questions?
All right.
Good for now.
Thank you.
Do you have any other questions regarding, you had counsel, Mr. Mitchell, but do you have any other questions regarding this?
I think my questions are satisfied.
All right, very good.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you folks for working it out. I've signed that.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you. Sometimes cases are like baking bread. You just have to leave it in the oven. We're back on the record in the case of the People versus Kawaka.
Jonathan Water, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney for the People.
Tina Saxon for Jabril Shawaka.
Sir, I just remind you that we've taken a break, but you are still on the roll. You understand that?
Yes,
All right. Very good. You need to inquire, Ms. Saxon.
You did not request medical attention at the car wash, correct? And you did not tell the police that you had lost consciousness at the car wash while being interviewed at the car wash.
I don't believe it.
Okay, no further questions.
Can you redirect?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Regardless of what you had told the officer, approximately how many times did you get punched or kicked or hit?
Punched 2 times. The second time, I was told I got punched directly in the center of my face, and it was very powerful.
And you lost, you testified you lost consciousness?
Yes,
And how were you, when you were being interviewed with the police, were you feeling the effects of that?
my head was buzzing, my nose was bleeding. I felt very sharp pain in my nose, and it was like I was very foggy.
And at the time when the police were interviewing you, can you recall how many police cars were there?
No, actually, I can't.
Can you, no idea?
I believe there was probably more than 2.
More than 2? Okay.
More than 2 or 3.
And how many people do you recall being around at that time?
When the officers were there?
Yeah.
I'd say there was at least probably like 4 or 5 officers.
Okay. No further questions, Judge. Thank you.
So was the defendant there when the police arrived?
No,
He had left.
yeah, they both left.
They both being cool.
Jabril showed that a deep shower.
So
And then after which, a whole bunch of people came as well. And there was people,
after a whole bunch of people from where?
I noticed that there was, black Range Rover, that they told me that was their uncle that was there. There was a blue BMW.
Whose uncle?
Jabril and Adik Shalaka. They told me that was their uncle that was there. They told me that, and then after which there was a couple other guys that I remembered from the wedding. Their last name were Kat. They arrived after which when the cops were interviewing me, and also Adik Shalaka came afterwards. And there was a couple other guys that I don't know that were also there that came and parked on the side after the fight. They were like still arriving.
The three.
I recall when Jabril was pointing the gun at me and then.
Your Honor,
Yes.
will we get a chance to, redirect, or not redirect, cross on what he's just stated?
You've had exams before me. I certainly will give you an
I
opportunity
have
to do
no,
it, but I have to clarify. Yes, you have.
no, I haven't.
Yeah, you have. It was memorable for me. Sir, what I'm trying to figure out is you testified that prior to the police arriving, the defendant had left,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay. The three people that were in the black vehicle, were they there for the defendant, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I believe so.
Okay, so, but when the police arrived, they were still there.
I don't know. I believe they were.
But
I remember,
hold it, you testified that you pointed out those people to the police.
Yes, because they were on the, because I think one of the officers approached me.
Sir, hold on. They're either there or they're not. So if they're not there, how do you point them out to the police?
They were parked on the side of the car wash. When you exit the car wash, they were parked on the side. So they were there.
So now what you're telling me is they were there.
Yeah.
And you pointed them out to the police.
Yeah.
Coming to the car wash, in your vehicle, there's you and your sister.
Yeah.
And then your friend is in another vehicle, right? Did you all arrive at the car wash at the same time?
My friend and
Pardon?
sister. My friend and my sister.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you all drove to the car wash.
Yeah.
Did you get your car washed?
No.
But your friend did.
Yeah.
You just were vacuuming out your vehicle.
Yes.
What night of the week was this? It was August 14th.
Thursday.
Immediately before going to the car wash, where were you?
Leaving my house.
Is that in Pittsfield?
Yes, it's on Texas.
And where were you headed?
I was heading to the car wash.
Okay, and after you went to the car wash, where were you intending on going?
Back to my house.
Does your sister reside at the same house you live in?
Yes.
So your sole purpose in going out was to go to the car wash to vacuum out your vehicle.
Yes. Well,
Where was your friend before? Was your friend at your house?
no, my friend was at his house. He was coming to meet me at the car wash.
Where's he live?
He lives in Ann Arbor.
Okay, so can I ask, where was he going to your understanding after the car wash?
Also back to my house.
Was there a particular reason why you were meeting at the car wash?
Yes, we went there to clean out our vehicles because my sister wanted to go to Chicago. But because my aunt lives in Chicago, so she was going to visit her aunt. But because I can't leave the state currently, we agreed to like go clean out our trucks because he needed to clean out his truck. And then he was going to proceed to take my sister to Chicago.
And you can't leave because of some bond condition?
Yes.
Just so I have it straight. Your sister wanted to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
You can't take her to Chicago. So your friend was going to take her to Chicago.
Yeah.
And so rather than have your friend come to your house to get your sister, you decided to meet at the car wash.
We were just going out to clean our cars, yeah.
You were just what?
We went out to clean our cars beforehand.
Oh, hold on. You said you were meeting at the car wash.
We did, yeah. We met at the car. So the whole day, it wasn't planned. It wasn't like, because it was all very like sudden. Because at that point, my sister had just gotten into a fight with Steve Shelka. And
With who?
Steve Shelka.
Her-
Her current husband. That she's getting a divorce. So they had gotten into a fight, and she had came to stay at our house. And so she wanted to go to Chicago. She was talking to my aunt. She wanted to go to Chicago.
Okay, when was the fight?
I'm sorry.
To your understanding, when was the fight?
What's the fight? August 14th.
Between your sister and her husband?
Between her sister and her husband. My sister and her husband.
That was
That was beforehand.
like a few days beforehand, a few weeks, few months?
I'd say about a week and a half.
Okay. And so then she was going to Chicago.
Yes.
When you say it wasn't planned, what wasn't planned?
So all the details weren't planned, like how she was gonna go to Chicago, how we're gonna get her there. So throughout the day, we were just making like a plan how we're gonna get her to Chicago, and she wanted to go. It was either her taking a train, taking the Amtrak to go to Chicago, and my aunt picking her up in the Amtrak, or they proposed that I take her, but I said I couldn't because of my bond. And then I called my friend Paul. He said that he might be able to go. So we met up at the car wash. It was just like a whole bunch of like planning to try to get her to Chicago. And that's how we ended up at the car wash at the car wash at 6 o'clock.
When you arrived at the car wash, or prior to going to the car wash, Did you know defendant and his family would be there? Be careful how you answer that question, sir.
No, Your Honor.
You did not know.
No.
So at the point at which the first member of his family that you see is him?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, sir, could you repeat that? I didn't hear.
My last question. The first member of his family that you saw was the defendant. I guess it's a better way to put it. As I'm listening to your story, was there ever a point that you believed that you could leave the car wash?
No, Your Honor.
So at no point could you have driven out of that car wash?
Based on the events that happened, I was trying to leave the car wash. That was my main.
Sir, that car wash is off of a service drive off of Carpenter, right?
Yes.
And so from part of the lot, at any given, you're in a 1500, right?
Yes.
Four-wheel drive?
Yes, sir.
At any given point, you could have driven down onto that service drive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any questions based upon the court's questions?
May I ask just,
Go ahead.
if you had left, would you have left your friend then?
I would have left my friend in the.
And do you see Jabril Shawaka in court today?
Yes.
Could you identify him based on what he's wearing and where he's seated?
He's seated right next. He's seated right over there. He's wearing a black jacket and a gray tie and a gray dress shirt.
And I ask the court to reflect the in-court identification of Mr. Shawaka.
Record shall so reflect without objection. Based upon your question, and I'll let you follow up, but where is your sister while all of this is going on?
She was in my passenger seat. In my truck. But like she got down from the vehicle.
When?
So as soon as I got down from my vehicle to make sure that the law was like had knowledge that it was there, let's go. She also got down from the vehicle at that point as well. So we were.
Couldn't you see your friend? When you're in the vehicle, after you guys exchange greetings, can't you see your friend?
From when I was leaving.
You come in.
I couldn't see.
You,
When I was leaving, I couldn't see my friend. Because he was still parked behind me. I was leaving the vehicle, he was still parked. The car wash, was in the car wash.
before you got out of the vehicle, could you see where your friend was?
I could see where the car was parked. But I couldn't see him physically. No.
Why?
I was too far away.
You're 2 vacuums down, right?
No. So at that point, when I got down from the, we were exiting the area where the vacuums were. From the back of the car wash. So I'm going to the front of the car wash, I'm exiting, and he's still parked behind me on the corner.
And Your Honor, my recollection was at this point, his friend had finished vacuuming and gone through the car wash. So he was parked in that lot, but not at one of the
Right.
vacuum stations.
But I understand, but at some point he comes. Did you exit your vehicle before your friend came out of the car wash?
I was when he came out of the car wash. I was out of my vehicle. So I was still vacuuming my car when he came out that moment. And then he proceeded to park in the lot where the vacuums are.
Right.
I finished vacuuming my car. I got into the car, I'm leaving, and he's still parked.
Were you, may I ask a question here?
Yes.
When you got back in your car and you said you were leaving, were you then going to go through the car wash as well?
Leading objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. It was so leading because he. Go ahead if you got another question, but I'm sustaining the objection.
When you got back in your car and you were going to leave, where were you going?
After that, I believe I was in the car wash.
That's why we don't meet.
Honestly, I don't remember.
Yeah, I know. Because before you said you didn't. Go ahead. It's okay.
I don't have any further questions, Judge.
I could,
Well, hold on. You don't have a question.
When you get back into your vehicle and your sister's in the vehicle, you're going to leave, correct?
I believe that.
Well, no. Were you going to leave or not?
Yes.
Your friend has already come through the car wash, right?
Yes.
And at that point, you say you can't see your friend.
When I was leaving. Yes.
Then how did you know he was still there?
I mean, I couldn't see him, his person, but I could see his car. Like if I look back, like out of my window, I see his car still parked. But where my friend was, I didn't see. Like if he was outside the car, in the car. Because when I was finishing up vacuuming my car, he was wiping from the car wash.
So at the point in time that you and the defendant are exchanging greetings, you're about to leave.
Yes, because after that, I confirmed that Talal.
Okay, and so where was your friend at that moment?
At that moment, when I got out from my vehicle, Talal was inside.
No. Because you gave him the finger, whether first, last, or in the middle, while you were still in the vehicle, right?
Yes.
And that was after you had vacuumed your car.
Yes.
And so you were leaving after you vacuumed. So you were still in the vehicle.
Yes.
Where was your friend?
He was still parked in the lot, the vacuum lot.
And you're saying you could see his vehicle but couldn't see him.
Yes.
And so after you two exchange pleasantries and you're about to leave, why didn't you just leave?
Well, that was the point where he was pointing the gun at me.
He didn't point the gun at you till you got out of the vehicle. At the point before you got out of the vehicle, why didn't you just leave?
Because I wanted to make sure that Talal was leaving with me as well.
So there was nowhere for you to pull in the entrances or exits and get on a cell phone?
I could have, but that's in a thought.
In fact, you could have pulled down on one of the driveways and waited, right?
I mean, yeah.
No, I mean, from practical, you could have, right? And then waited for your friend to come behind you, right?
Well, I mean, I didn't know if my friend would have exited his vehicle because Jabril, at that point, before I got down from my vehicle, Jabril had already parked and exited his vehicle. So I don't know if my friend got out from his vehicle as well. So out of concern for my friend as well, I wanted to get out from my vehicle and make sure that everything was okay before I left.
Any questions based on the court questions?
None for me, Your Honor.
Testify when I question you that Talal and Jabril did not have an issue with each other. The issue was strictly between you and him and your family and the Shawakas.
So I was aware of the situation that was going on.
You mentioned to the judge that you said they told you the Range Rover, another vehicle, and you named some people were there. Who is they?
Talal told me that the Range Rover was.
Hold on a second. Did you see these or did
I did, yeah.
do you know who they are, or is the only reason you know who they are is because of what somebody else told you? Not going to allow the answer.
Thank you. On the day of this incident at the car wash, your sister was still living with Thebe Shawaka at the Roundtree address, not at your house.
No,
She had moved out.
yes.
Yeah. When Talal came out of, and this is my last question on this Talal and where he was. When he came out of the car wash, he went to the vacuums and you were exiting. So Jabril had passed you coming in and you were going out because you were driving, correct?
Yes.
And you chose not to keep going onto the service drive, but to turn around and go back into the car lot, into the car wash, correct?
No.
Okay, nothing further.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
You may step down.
Thank you.
We call you next witness.
People call Talal Almeida.
This witness be excused. He's remaining in the courtroom, past witness. Do you have any objection?
He can be excused.
All right,
No objection.
you can stay in the courtroom.
Oh, yeah. With in anticipating that this may go to trial, I would like him to be excused from the court.
I'm not going to excuse him for that reason.
And that's where this portion of the hearing wraps up, but the legal battle is far from over. Preliminary examinations aren't about deciding guilt or innocence. They're about determining whether enough evidence exists for the case to move forward. What stood out to you the most? The witness's testimony, the defense's cross-examination, or the judge's handling of the courtroom? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy real courtroom breakdowns with legal insight, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next case.